Good evening and welcome to Sports Saturday. I am Julian Gibson. Tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, the B3s will celebrate 60 years. Now, after the 15,000 persons leave the stadium, the B3s will get down to business because they have 4 major competitions taking place soon.
We have the Junior CAC in El Salvador the end of June. Then we have the NACAC under 23 championships in Mexico. And then we have the World Juniors in Barcelona, as I said. And then we have the Olympics in London. I just want to say one thing. We did so well last year in France in the World Youth. Could you imagine the Bahamas? Forget the size of the Bahamas now. That we could win 3 gold medals and 1 bronze medal. Place 4th behind the United States, Kenya, and Jamaica. Well, you have traveled all over the world, eh? There are all kinds of large countries, and there are all kinds of countries with great athletes. And in 1993, a German termed the phrase, the Bahamas, small country, great athletes. And we anticipate just continuing in that tradition.
From sailing, the Long Island Regatta will get started this coming Thursday over in Salt Point, Long Island. One of the skippers to watch out for is Buzzy Rule. Recently, Danny Strawn, well, he congratulated Buzzy Rule on being a great skipper.
There was only one person who has dominated sloop sailing here in Elizabeth Harbor. You know, when Rolly Gray died, Exumians was sad and upset and say, what we going to do now? Because Exuma is always known for producing great skippers. The slogan was years ago was that Long Island build them and Exuma sail them. But I think now Long Island has catch up a little bit with Exuma. But nevertheless, I think Exuma is still out there in terms of skippers. So without a doubt, Buzzy Roll is certainly replaced the incomparable Rolly Gray, who has dominated this sport for the last 50 years. So we now have Buzzy Roll, who's following in the footsteps of Captain Rolly Gray.
Still talking sailing, that old slow dead boat that belongs to my good friend, Reverend Dr. Philip McPhee, will also be in action in Long Island. Rev is once again daydreaming. He says that he will win it all.
I won the best of the best in the Long Island Regatta. Long Island is the place where, where you have the best of the best sailing. To win Long Island, you got to be just like you are prepared for Georgetown. And so I feel like going into Long Island, I want Long Island Regatta. That's something I want. It's something I would love to put on my shelf and in memory of my dad, who supported Long Island all of his life. And we have not won Long Island in a long time. So I feel it's about time for me to win it. I'm going to win that, and hopefully I'll come back as victorious as the champion in the Long Island Regatta also.
And finally in sports, the Bahamas Softball Federation men and ladies softball team should be out there practicing right now because they have a busy schedule this year.
We start the calendar of international event in September of this year, when our men will travel to Medellin, Colombia for the Pan Am qualifier, and that's also a qualifier for the World Championship. The first 8 teams would qualify for the Pan Am Games, which will be held in Brazil in 2014, I think it is. And the top 5 teams would qualify for the World Championship that will be held in New Zealand next year, March 1st through the 10th. The Pan Am qualifier in Colombia would be this year, September 15 through the 23rd. The ECAS is being now formally recognized by COMPASA and CONCACAS. It was recognized by the ISF last year. And the first ECAS championship will be held for ladies in Belize, November 28th through December 2nd.
Well, that's all the time for Sports Saturday, but once again, Game 7 tonight, Sixers and the Boston Celtics, and you know the story by now, the Lakers, well, they'll be at Lakeview tomorrow, getting buried. Stay tuned, you better forecast, still to come.